site that we're gonna get ready to get started on probably the next 2 months. The site is over in Ross Bridge, in the back part of Ross Bridge. This is a really, really nice lot, guys. It's probably one of the best lots I've seen. This particular house is gonna have a main level garage and a basement garage, and the main level garage and the basement garage on opposite ends of the house. And typically what you want to do is you want that basement to be at the lowest elevation. Now if you look at this land right here, you can kind of see this land right here. There's a natural grade in this land. It kind of goes downhill that way. That's what you want. You want to make sure that the basement is over here, your main level garage is over here. And what that does is, as long as you are consistent with the natural lay of the land, it actually makes it cheaper. And then it's gonna be cheaper and easier for you to build on. Problem is, if I came here and I wanna reverse it, I wanna go just the opposite of the natural lay of the land, you can do it. I tell a lot of people ask me, can you build this? I can build anything you want me to build. The question is, how much you wanna pay to have it done. Now, if you're inconsistent with the natural lay of the land or the way the creator has made this land, it's gonna cost you more. Now, if you kind of stick with the way things are and try to work with the land, it's gonna be cheaper. And not only that, it's gonna be easier to build. Let's just kind of walk up and what I'm looking for, some of the things that I'm looking for here. One thing I'm looking for utilities. I gotta figure out, I gotta make up in my mind what's gonna happen here. Where's my utility poles gonna be? So I'm looking at, like right here, you got a transformer, for chances are my temporary power pole is gonna be sitting right here. I'm also looking to see where my silk fence is gonna go. And I'm looking at, chances are, we gotta have silk fence throughout the front, and we definitely gotta have some on the lower end to make sure siltation don't go on the next lot. I'm looking for things like water lines, maybe, I'm probably gonna have to dig up in here and find my water lines, my sewer. Those are the things that are most important. I'm also looking at, we're gonna come through here. I'm looking at this lot, actually. I'm looking at the fact that I'm trying to gauge how many trees we're gonna have that's gonna have to get taken down. I'm trying to figure out, then I gotta get on the phone and find out whether or not we can actually burn here, because that'll save me if I can burn a couple of these trees. That'll save me a lot of money hauling, because you got to haul these trees off. And I'm also looking at the fact that this right here is going to probably more likely be a partial daylight basement. That's a whole lot better. Typically daylight basements are, they're a little bit better of a selling point than non-daylight basement. There's also something else I was, let me see. So everything looks good. We're trying to get everything, trying to figure out how everything's gonna go and how everything's gonna sit on this lot. And guys, I'm gonna tell you something else. If you can't see that house, if you can't look at the front elevation of that house right now, you can't look at it on paper, and you can't actually envision that house here on this site, you don't need to be building it. That's the main thing you got to be able to do. You got to be able to look here and actually see that house sitting on this lot. The right elevation and everything. You have to be able to envision that. Typically what I usually do is I go to the homeowner, I ask them how many, I ask them how many steps they want to the front door. 3 or 4 steps. I try not to go over maybe 3 to 4 steps. 2 would be ideal on a basement lot, and you have to have that. The reason you have to have at least 2 steps on a basement lot is because you have a header joist that goes all around the house, and it's wood. And you can't bury that thing because water will get in there and mess it up. So those are the things that I'm looking at. So I got to kind of get a game plan together, and we have to have a strategy, especially in order to supervise this site. And the name of the game is how well, I tell you something, guys. The name of the game is how well you supervise this site. And that's why I have my son out here, and I try to walk him through everything so that he will understand how to supervise the site. That makes you out of a great builder. Supervising the site, making sure you know everything that happens on that site. I even had relatives that called me, and they live out of town. They've called me and they said, they say, can you build my house? You know, we stay over in Georgia. We stay in Evergreen, where I'm from, which is about 200 miles away. And my answer is always, I can't supervise a site that far. You just can't. It's too far. I can't drive there every day unless I have, now technology is eventually gonna bridge that gap. But I don't supervise. I don't build something that I can't supervise. I don't care who it is. It could be my cousin. It could be my own mom or dad. If I can't go out there and see that site at least every other day, at least go out there in the event that something goes wrong, so I can see what my subcontractors are doing, I'm not gonna take that job. We have a lot of that going on here. You got guys from up north and stuff like that, all from Georgia and Tennessee and all these different places. They come here and they're trying to build in Birmingham, a building in this area. I'm not saying that it can't be done, but that's a very difficult thing to do, because it's very difficult if you don't have easy access. Guys, if I'm out of a 25-mile radius of that job site, I'm not gonna take that job. I'm not gonna take that job. What I would do is I would refer that customer to somebody else that I think that's a reputable builder, to take care of that job for them. Because it won't be good for me to get out here and do something and have a failure. If there's a possibility of me failing because a subcontractor, I couldn't get to the site on time, or something like that, and the subcontractor did something, I didn't catch it. And I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Dealing with subcontractors, guys, and I'm not saying all my subcontractors are bad, but just dealing, because here's the thing, as the builder, as the contractor, I have to figure out a way to bring all these guys together to make this thing happen. House has over 300,000 parts. I'm bringing all these guys together to assemble 300,000 parts. And that's a tough job. And in a lot of cases, like dealing with subcontractors, I'll be honest with you, I should start me a adult daycare service sometimes. And that's the way I feel, because sometimes those guys have to have constant supervision. Because at the end of the day, when something goes wrong, don't matter what it is on that house, it can even be the electrical, plumbing, and stuff like that these guys have their own license to do. The homeowner's not gonna think about those guys. The person that they're gonna think about is the person they engage with, and that's that builder or that contractor. When things go wrong, no matter what it is, footing, foundation, framing, it's the builder's fault. And as a builder, you have to be ready to be accountable. You got to be accountable. You just can't point. Guys, I never point fingers. Well, he did it. No, I don't do that. If I had a failed subcontractor, I own it. I messed that up. If I got to get somebody else in there to do it, it is what it is. But like I said, it's better. It would even be better if a lot of these guys that's way out in these different places. What I would do is I would hire a contractor. If I just had to do the job, I'd hire a contractor to do it for me that's reputable in that area. All right, did you have any more questions? Do you have anything you want to add to it?
How often do you ever have to be held accountable for whatever? Does it happen often, or do you ever?
Always. It's always a problem. Here's the thing, guys. When people hire a contractor, when you come out and hire me, you don't hire me for the things that can go right. You hire me to deal with the problems. If everything went right on a job site, then everybody would be building. But it's how you deal with those problems is what makes a builder a good builder. That's what separates good builders from average builders, from the other builders that are not so good. So you have to, like I said, I'm always accountable. I'm always looking for stuff. Now I've built enough to try to be in, so I won't be in firefighting mode. I'll be more in preventive mode. So I'm more in preventive mode right now. I'm looking at all the planning, on making sure a lot of things don't happen. And like I said, we're gonna have problems. I tell my homeowners, if you're looking for a perfect house, it's not gonna happen with me. I'm not gonna build you a perfect house. But I'm gonna make sure that the code is followed, and I'm gonna do the best of my ability to make it right and to correct problems. And if we have a problem, the name of the game is how you handle those problems when you have those problems. Coming back, fixing those problems is critical as a builder. My homeowners have a problem, you got to, if it's a legitimate problem, now some problems, in some cases there won't be problems, but when you have like certain problems in a house, man, I mean, if it's a legitimate problem, you got to fix those problems as a builder. You got anything else?
Have you?
All right, man.